Oh, do I have some amazing tapes to show you today, guys. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I have a couple of good tapes to show you. I mean, I have about a dozen. Maybe half of them you've seen them before, but many of those though are like new stuff. So this is going to be really exciting. And just to announce it beforehand, before you go scrolling and try to find maybe where I talk about this tape in the video, unless you just want to sit down and watch everything, I did find what I would say perhaps two of, I mean maybe not two, but at least one of the biggest holy grails of late releases. So by the way, the video today is all about late releases. So if you like late releases, well, you're in for a very good video today. Alright, so let's get started. The first one I have is Madagascar 2. I know, like, I've been asked for this previously. I never actually looked for it. I did see it a couple times. It's not like, I mean, now it's getting rare. But at the time it wasn't too rare, and whenever I saw it I was like, yeah, whatever. But since a couple people asked me for it recently, I went back to look for it and I did find a copy. By the way, I don't know if there's an English version of this, because you know, like with the animation stuff, most of the time they came out with an English release and a Korean dub release. This one is a Korean dubbed release. I do not know if an English release exists of this one. Again, it may. I didn't really look into it simply because that's not my kind of film. Although I should look into it, because you know, people ask me for it, but I honestly have no idea. I'll ask around. It's very possible that there is an English version. But as with all these animations, by the way, also, if there is an English version, I would say the rarity ratio as of 2024 would be about 1 to 10. So I would find like 9 copies of this dubbed in Korean for 1 copy in original language in English with Korean subtitles. And that almost applies to every single animation that actually I can find. Because it was the same thing. Back then I tried to find what was it, Shrek 3, and I kept finding Shrek 3 only in Korean. I couldn't find like an English dub, English language copy. Same thing with Ratatouille. I mean, there's a couple more that comes to mind. WALL-E was one of them as well. I kept finding the Korean version, but never find the English version of it. Anyway, so yeah, anyway, this is Madagascar. I'm just gonna show it to you right now. So this is the back. Let's zoom in a little bit. So there you go. And this is quite late, because that's, well, March 2009. So for animation, it's kind of reaching the end of the VHS cycle, because the latest like animations were 2010, maybe early 2010 with what was it again? So I'm so terrible with animation, but the one with the raining meatballs, something. Anyway, I can picture the cover in my mind, but I can remember the exact title. Something with chances of meatballs. Rain with chances of meatballs. Anyway, that was early 2010. Can't remember which month. Not that I really care, but I think it's maybe not more than May 2010. Yeah, so that was kind of like the last animation, like American animation that came out on Korean VHS. But anyway, this is yeah, it's like in the last year that they did make animation on Korean VHS. And let me just bring the attention to the spine right here, because as usual, it's really cool to see that some of those have really good looking spines, barely any sun fade, if any at all. Because here you can tell with the blue is blue, the green is green. Yeah, it's a beautiful copy. I would judge this one as being like as near mint can be. Same thing goes with the tape inside. It's beautiful, no mold, anything. Okay, let's move on to our second movie. This is a new one. This is also a special request. I did look around, I did find one copy, but turns out like many people are actually looking for this. I didn't know, because I've been asked by 2 or 3 other people after I showed the photo of this, and they were asking me, hey, is it for sale, or do you have another one? I was like, no, how come you guys never asked me for it? Well, turns out it's available. It does exist in South Korea. So this is Enchanted. So it's a Walt Disney picture. I guess that's the whole point of people wanting this title in their collection, because Disney fans, Pixar fans, and this copy is gorgeous. I mean, I think it has like a bit of humidity, because you can tell like it's a bit wavy. There's no water damage, by the way. If I open it up and you look behind, you know, there's like, well, this might be like a little stain here. Yeah, there is. But other than that, it's a very beautiful. I wouldn't mind about this, because once again, 2024, it's South Korea. It's something to get used to it, because that's the way the tapes are now. I mean, to find like a mint copy with no defect whatsoever, it's too hard now. But anyway, nonetheless, this is a very beautiful copy, because as you can see, all corners are sharp. There's no damage on the spine. No damage, I mean, yeah, on the spine and on the inlay, on the sleeve itself. And no sun fade. And that's always a big deal for me, at least. Some people don't care, but there's no sun fade. By the way, there's a little scuff here. It's not, the sleeve isn't damaged here, it's only the plastic. And it is the original clamshell as well. So this is really cool. Sorry about the focus here. So there you go, this is Enchanted. And on the back, so as you can see here, 2008, May 2008 was the VHS release in South Korea. And once again, this is very hard to find. Not that I've been looking for it, but now that I kind of know what the cover looks like and everything, I do not remember like seeing this around. Otherwise, yeah, I would have let some people know, some people who are after these tapes, that this does exist. But it's my first encounter with this tape. So once again, beautiful tape, very clean. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next one. What should I pick up now? Let's go with some, well, no, let's finish with the animation. Okay, this one is I was gonna say Ghost House. This is Monster House. I did have that in the past. It's a tape that I kind of see quite often. I would say like this is perhaps the most common animation film that is post 2006 that you would find in South Korea. I think like every single like little shop that has a few or just a couple of tapes does have this in stock. So it's not that crazy rare. However, the English version, of course, is much more rare. I wouldn't say like it's by far not the rarest like copy you can find in English, but still is. So this is my second copy in a few months, so I can consider this being not too rare in English, but still it's, you know, it's getting up there in rarity. So yeah, Monster House, I did show you this tape in the past. Is it, well, see, 2006. Is it in good shape? I mean, overall it is in pretty decent shape. It's only the spine that has sun fade. It's the only downside, I would say. Here you go, the tape is super clean. And yeah, once again, to find tapes that don't have any sun fade is quite hard as well. So that's why I'm saying, like, if, like, see, this one doesn't have any, see, there's no wrinkle, doesn't have any water damage. The other one has, but it has a perfect, like, non-faded spine. So you see, like, to have like all these elements, to have like a perfect copy would be, it's kind of like the unicorn, right? It's like, oh wow, I have all these elements in line. The copy is perfectly mint. I mean, I have some, I mean, maybe not for the late releases, but I have some customers that usually sometimes would ask me for those like unicorn of a tape with no defect whatsoever. And I'm like, dude, it's 2024 and South Korea is not the US. So to find tapes in good shape is really, really hard, simply because of the weather here and the temperature and everything. So it's so humid in the summer, it's so hot, and we have a rainy season in South Korea. So with bad storage, like some shops do really put these tapes like wherever they want. There's terrible storage. If you add this up with humidity and so on, that's why all these tapes are in terrible shape. You see them in good shape because I take like hours cleaning this stuff up, and that's the only reason. Otherwise, because you know, it's not appealing to show you like dusty tapes. They just makes them look terrible. Okay, next, I wanted to jump into some gaming. So here is one tape I think I did show you in the past. It's Silent Hill. Silent Hill is 2006, so never came out in the States. Let's look a bit closer. So yeah, December 2006 is the release for this movie in South Korea, which is super cool. I mean, the back is so gorgeous, has really cool screenshots and everything. Silent Hill Mystery. Yeah, so this is really nice. What can I say about this? Well, yeah, of course it's gaming related. There's a new Silent Hill game, or I think movie coming out. Not too sure, maybe both. So this makes this tape even more desirable, I think. Of course, the only downside is, again, the spine, some sun fade, but it is what it is. Otherwise, copy is, once again, beautiful. Yeah, so there you go. Next movie we have related to gaming is Resident Evil 3. So this is the last Resident Evil that was released on VHS in South Korea, although I think they released a movie in 2010. I think that was the next movie was 2010, but that one only got a DVD, didn't get a tape. So this is the last one that got a tape release in South Korea. Once again, very happy with this copy because it is boing, minty. Yeah, no sun fade whatsoever. It looks like brand new. So I mean, see, this is one of those that I'm really proud of. When you find, when you find a tape in this shape, condition, you can be like so happy. And of course, it is the original clamshell. So yeah, beautiful copy for Resident Evil 3. Let me just show you the back a little bit closer. So yeah, 2007-12, so that's December. Can I go closer? Yeah, December 2007, so I was gonna say 2012. So December 2007, so almost 2008. Couple of screenshots on the back. It is a really cool release. So if you're a fan of the game series or just a fan of the movie itself, although the movie, it is what it is, but this is a must. And even more so because this copy is near mint. Okay, let's move on. Next one. I can't remember if I showed it to you in a previous video, but I think I didn't. So I'm going to show it to you now. Maybe I did, so it's going to be the second time around. I just pick it up and put it in my pile because this is already sold. It's going to go to someone. So before it's gone and I cannot find another copy because it's actually quite hard to find, I'm showing it to you now. Or maybe I did in the past, like I said, I don't remember, but yeah. This is only the second time I find this tape ever. And I do believe this is the best copy of the two that I did find, simply because, of course, it is perfect condition, no sun fade whatsoever. Tape is clean, original Warner Brothers clamshell, as you can see. So gorgeous copy, and it is Final Destination 4 if you haven't figured out. So there you go. Let's check on the back. I rarely show you close-ups of the back. It's kind of like missing in my videos, I guess, but I'm just gonna do it for you today. So you can see here 2010, it is February 2010, so it is close to the end, because as you know, American releases were done until the end of December 2010. So this is the last year they made tapes, and this is cool. Yeah, they added those not recommendations, but God, I can't find the word. Anyway, it shows that there's violence and so on in the movie, bad language. There's little icons. It's really cool. They do the same for video games, by the way. Not the same ones, but similar ones. So there you go. Couple screenshots on the back. Text. All right. Final Destination 4. So there you have it. Gorgeous copy. Sadly, it is already sold. Okay, let's move on to another one that is already sold. It's not something that I do look for. I did see it a couple times in the stores, but once again, I'm not into comedies, and I really hate this actor, to be honest. I think he did like 2 or 3 very good films, but his comedies are just meh. I'm sorry. But yeah, I know some people were after this one. I did sell a copy in the past. This is my second one. Is it hard to find? Again, I don't know, because I don't really, it's not my primary focus when I look for tapes. And also because this is, let me check. This is 2007, so it's March 2007, so it's early 2007. I really usually focus on the 2009, 2010 as much as possible, because those are the rarest one to find. So I kind of, you know, I wouldn't say I disregard, but I don't really look into 2006, 2007 stuff as much, maybe as much as I should. So let's just check on the spine here. As you can see, again, beautiful copy. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. And here is the back cover. As you can see, 2007 here in March. A couple of screenshots. Okay, so there you go. Also, for what I know, Sony doesn't have like a logo on their clamshell, for what I remember. So this is just like, I wouldn't say like a blank clamshell, but there's no name. And for what I remember, Sony doesn't have their logo, I think, or like half of them does, and maybe the other half doesn't. It's, you know, it's kind of one of those random labels, should I say. Okay, now let's get into some fun stuff. I have one more Disney film, by the way, and I'm surprised this one didn't sell yet. This is, of course, the National Treasure 2. Of course, of all the Disney films, it's not one of the rarest. I mean, it's not that rare. I could say it's getting rare. You know, if I don't know for sure, I don't tell you, but because I don't really, again, it's not something I do look for like crazy, but I did pick this one up simply because it is like near mint, there's no sun fade. That's the only reason I picked it up, because it's such a beautiful copy. Otherwise, I would have probably left it there if it was like moldy or had like sun fade or something, because like I said, it's not something that people ask me like crazy. But since this copy is super mint, I mean, if anyone wants it, you know, you're gonna get like probably one of the best copies you can get. It does have like some humidity issue, like, you know, it does like the little bit of waving, but there's no water damage per se, I think. Now, see, it's a little bit wavy, but there's like, it wasn't hit by water directly. It's just the humidity. But if it sits on a shelf, it's quite hard to tell, because, you know, with the angle, you know, like this, oh, it's perfect. Oh, it's wavy, you know. So yeah, anyway, it is a beautiful copy nonetheless. Again, for being in 2024, you know, this is kind of like the top you would get. Yeah, so there you go. Let me show you again closer. Focus. Yeah, 2008, and this is the end of 2008. So yeah, very cool copy. So if you're a fan of Disney, I would urge you to get this copy quickly. Okay, we're almost near the end. This is another one next that I showed you before, but I did find another copy. I was very, very, very happy because this title's kind of getting a bit more in demand. Yeah, well, it is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, or as I like to say, Harry Potter Year 6. So this is the only second copy I found of this, so it's very, very rare. You know, there used to be like tons of them before, but now it's super hard to find. It is the English version, it's not a Korean dub, because I do have like one half, because it's on 2 tapes, right? So I do have one half as well, so I'm missing one part, but it's the Korean dub. But I did buy it because it wasn't expensive. and it was also near mint, and I'm like, well, if I do find the second half one day, well, at least I'll have a complete copy of part 6 dubbed in Korean, which is a nice you know, little variation, should I say. So yeah, the only thing with this, once again, and just like the other copy I sold previously, is that one of the 2 tapes is near mint, unfaded, or barely, almost unfaded. Oh, it does have a bit of fade. See, the green is not as green. Sorry, let me focus. So the green is very green here, and here's a little bit like fade-ish a little bit, but it's still very presentable, very beautiful. But the second part, see, it is green and here it's blue. So that is, yeah, it's, again, 2024, Korea, humidity and so on. So you have to deal with this stuff. And it did have, like, I think some, you can tell, like some water damage, sadly. But the overall condition is great. I mean, it's still highly collectible. And like I said, this is super hard to find now. So you take what you can get. And I would say this isn't, I mean, it's still highly collectible. That's what I'm saying. And to find a mint copy would be wow. And of course, I would probably sell it, I mean, or charge double what I would sell this one for, simply because, like I said, it's highly collectible and I have a high demand for this. Okay, we're near the end, guys, and you know what, I'm gonna keep the best for last. So if you feel like this video is too long, you can fast forward, or you can stick around for the last 3 tapes I have for you. So next we have Star Trek. So if you're a Trekkie, I guess this is a must. I'm not a Trekkie, I don't know, but I guess if you are, this is a must. And by the way, this is actually very, 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 very hard to find. I cannot stress this enough. I've been asked by some collectors if I could find it, and I did say like that, oh sure, no problem, I'll look around, I'll find you one in a month or so. And at least I think 5 years later, I do find a copy. So this is how hard it is to find Star Trek, the 2009 film. I thought it would be easy because I kind of saw it in the past, but we're talking about like 2012, 13, 14 and so on. But ever since, nothing. So it is very hard to find. And this copy is very beautiful. Does have a bit of sun fade, I would say, because as you can see on the spine, let me focus, the red is very reddish and here is slightly pink, but yeah, see, the blue is blue, so it is a almost unfaded copy. If you don't notice the red too much, the rest is black, so it really doesn't matter. Let me show you the back. See, it's the end of 2009, so we're in November 2009, so this is very late release. So of course, not 2010, not the last year, but I mean, so close. Look at this, the back is gorgeous, really fun, really beautiful design. And yes, Paramount, I think it's the, yeah. So as you can see inside, tape is gorgeous as well, of course. So yeah, if you're a Star Trek fan, this is a must. I do have, by the way, I'm surprised no one bought this one already. Of course, it's not cheap because I did pay quite a lot for it because it wasn't found in the wild. Because finding this in the wild, I would go crazy, but sadly, no, I had to buy it from a collector. So that's why I'm charging quite a bit more for it, but it is hard to find. So very collectible. All right, so now we're down to this last 2 tapes. The first one I'm gonna go quickly because I had it in the past. It is Iron Man. For some reason, I don't know, there's a surge of demand for Iron Man. It's perhaps my 3rd or maybe even my 4th copy, but not more than that. It's perhaps the 4th copy I have. In the past, I had like a really bad one. I had like a near mint one. This one is very close to near mint, although it isn't. As you can see, there's some fade on the spine here. It's not as yellow as it is right here. So I would say it's not a near mint copy, but it's very close. It's a gorgeous copy. There's no water damage whatsoever. The tape is also very, very clean, very beautiful. So yeah, like I said, there's a surge in demand for this. I guess there's always been, because it's an MCU release, and as you know, in the world, as far as I know still, South Korea is the only country that released MCU official films. So We're talking about like Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 1 and Iron Man 2. So like, yeah, so Iron Man 1 and Hulk I did find in the past, couple copies each. Iron Man is slightly harder to find than Hulk. Hulk, I would say I found maybe 1 or 2 more copies, but yes, still very hard to find. And simply the demand is so high, it's almost impossible to keep a copy in stock. Sadly, this one is already sold, and I have like 2 people that are in line for it in case the deal doesn't go. So yeah, very high demand for this. Nice copy. Again, let me show you the back. So you see late 2008. So yeah, a couple of screenshots as well. Very cool. If you've never seen the back of this tape, so here you go. All right. So this leaves us with 1 tape, and you heard me well at the beginning of this video, and you might be thinking, okay, what does he have for us? Is it the elusive Iron Man 2? It is. You don't know how long I've been looking for this. I mean, as long as I've been looking for late releases, I would say I've been looking for Iron Man 2. And well, I haven't been looking for late releases for that long, to be honest. Maybe 4 years, maximum 5 years. I mean, before that I did, but I had like specific titles in mind, like for example, Halloween or the 2009 Friday the 13th, because my specialty is more into the horror and the cult films, but stuff that is more like widespread, like, you know, Iron Man, or like for everyone. I never really, you know, picked up on those, although I may have seen them in the past, was like, yeah, whatever. But since people ask me for that, I'm like, well, I'm gonna look for you, you know. So I did look everywhere, you know, down and out, in Seoul, in South Korea, in multiple provinces. I checked online. I've never seen a copy of Iron Man 2. I mean, I did see one, but let's say on a website, but it said sold out. But I could see a photo of it. I'm like, okay, it does exist, fine. I'll try to find it. But this is the very first time I do find a copy of this. So anyway, enough rambling. Let me show it to you more closely. So this is such a beautiful tape. Once again, it's, for me, it's funny because this is not my kind of stuff, but I do understand the thrill of this tape being so much in demand. Of course, Iron Man, it's such a popular title, MCU, and all this stuff put together. I do understand why it's so much in demand. And it is a very beautiful and very appealing cover, to be honest. With the title in Hangul, it's so nice. And you have it in English as well here, Iron Man 2. There you go. So this is really nice. Let me show you the side. So once again, very lucky with this because the side doesn't have any sun fade whatsoever. Here you can see the Marvel Studios, which is super cool. So see Iron Man 2, no sun fade. And then the back cover, if you've never seen it, once again, super cool. You even have like Black Widow featured on the back. That's nice. And those little icons I was telling you about for the reviews, like if there's like violence and stuff. And look at this, guys. 2010 October. We're 2 months before the end of the VHS cycle in South Korea. Or like, let's say 3 months, considering there's a Korean film that was released in 2011. But for like American films, this is 2 months, in the last 2 months of VHS releases. So this is why, I'm guessing, this is why this tape is so hard to find. And I've been asked by some people, like, why those films are not easy to find? I mean, it's just freaking Iron Man. I mean, come on. It's not like some obscure film. You're actually right. It's not obscure. It's Iron Man, you know? It's a very famous film. It's because all these tapes, by the way, when they were released in South Korea, they were released only for rental. And you would think by 2010, there were not that many video stores remaining in South Korea. And you'd be right. There were just like a handful of them still in operation. And by the way, it's very different, the video stores in South Korea and how it is in the States or in Europe. is video stores in South Korea, I guess also like Japan maybe, they combine comic books and videos. So you could rent a DVD, but you could also rent like mangas, like comic books there. It's never just videos, okay? So those are the video stores per se. So why am I saying that? Yeah, so anyway, so of course they had plenty of DVDs back in 2010, 2009, 2008. Korea of course has DVDs, yeah, of course. But they kept making those tapes, who knows why, maybe because of the older population, like some old people had VCR stills, and maybe some old like little schools and hagwons are like English academies, still use VCRs, so that's why they kept producing those tapes, I guess, okay? And you would think like, yeah, okay, why Iron Man was not that easy to find? Well, it's because by 2010, of course, not many video stores would buy them on tapes, they would buy them on DVD. So I'm guessing, once again, it's a wild guess, but maybe only 1,000 of those were made for the entire country. Of course, you could think like some video stores would have a couple copies in stock for rental, but it's never like back in the States, for example, the Blockbusters with 30 copies. For what I remember, back 2006 to 2010-ish, video stores that had videotapes still would never have more than 3 copies of a big new release. Maybe 5, but nowhere near like what you guys would have back in the States, like 30, 40 copies, 50 copies. No way, no way, no way, no way. Especially 2010. So you would see maybe 1 copy of Iron Man 2, maybe on tape. Everything else would be on DVD. So that's why this is so rare and this is so hard to find. They didn't make like 1 million of these, okay? More close to 1,000, okay? Or maybe 10,000 top. Yeah, anyway, I'm just talking about this because I had a discussion with a friend of mine yesterday about the amount of copies that were produced. So anyway, this is just my 2 cents. I could be totally wrong, but yeah, guessing by the amount you can find in the wild. And this is a tape that is now, what, 14 years old? It's not crazy old. And the fact that I only found 1 in about 5 years of searching hardcore tells you that. Okay, let me show you the inside finally, you know, so we just wrap this up because this video has been long enough. Okay, maybe you want to see the sticker more closer because chances that I find another copy of this is very unlikely. So anyway, let me show you the inside. It's a very beautiful tape, very clean. It's just like a little scratch here on the plastic, but the tape inside is clean. The only thing though that it had some water damage, and I did write that in my post. But other than that, it is very clean. There's a little missing a little piece here. I may be able to find another clamshell, but those like off-white, like semi-transparent clamshell are kind of hard to find because they were only made in 2010. Anyway, I'll look around if the person who buys this ends up winning this, I can maybe swap it. Unless you want to keep this one, I don't mind it. It's still close, like, because the clip is here, it's not here. So yeah. So anyway, enough talking. I hope you really like this video. I hope I hope you're really happy to see Iron Man 2 in the flesh for once, because it's been so long that I've been asked for this, such a tape that has a crazy demand for it, and of course it's going up for sale. So thank you everybody, thank you for watching. One more thing, I kept saying that I was gonna post stuff about posters. It's just I didn't find the courage to pull out all the posters and display them for like showing. Tapes are much easier to show to the camera. You don't need like a crazy setup like I do now. It's very simple. So that's why. But I will get into the poster stuff eventually. So anyway, this is the tapes I have for you this week. Thankfully, a lot of them are gone because, like I said, I don't want to fill out my shelves anymore. So I'm very happy if I do find cool stuff and you guys like it and you buy the tapes, and then I can try to find more. So yeah, that's it for this week, guys. Thank you very much. Leave a like, leave a comment if you wish, and you can also subscribe if you haven't. All right, see you on the next one.